Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Deep Dive with me, Shivani Singh. And the past 24 hours in the West Asia war have witnessed troubling developments. It all started after Israel hit South Pars. Videos shared by locals in Iran show thick smoke rising from the facility in what looks like an airstrike. While reports from Iran of airstrikes are daily, this one signals a significant escalation. What is the South Pars gas field and why are the strikes significant? Let's have a closer look at this map. South Pars is part of the world's largest natural gas reserve. Iran shares the gas field, which is located offshore in the Persian Gulf, with Qatar, which calls it part of the North Dome. Now, it is the largest known natural gas field in the world, and the total area is 9,700 square kilometers, of which Iran controls about 3,700 square kilometers and Qatar controls 6,000 square kilometers. The entire gas field contains an estimated 1,800 trillion cubic feet of usable gas. That's enough to supply the world's needs for 13 years. This part in the Asal Ulye is where the gas fields were hit. And as you can see, it is strategically located closer to the Strait of Hormuz. In response, Iran struck Qatar's Ras Laffan industrial city, one of the largest gas export hubs in the world, causing heavy damage. Video shows the heavy damage with a large structure engulfed in fire. This was a direct attack on the nerve center of global LNG. This is a NASA image of the facility when it was struck. And the red spots show the areas which caught on fire. The 8 big red boxes seen on this map here show that the damage was significant, with a large portion of the sensitive refinery on fire. This was later confirmed by the Qatar Energy. Sizable fires and extensive damage was caused. A second subsequent attack on the same facility showed an intensifying inferno. This proves that this wasn't a misguided attack but targeted missile fire on the industrial city in response to Israel's strikes. Iran followed this up with a drone strike on the Samref refinery in Yanbu. Samref, a joint venture between Saudi Aramco and ExxonMobil, is a major refinery complex with a capacity of approximately 400,000 barrels per day. Videos recorded by locals show the 2 points hit by Iranian drones and missiles, causing heavy impact in Riyadh. NASA image again confirmed the fire, but this was significantly lesser as compared to the strike on Oman's facilities. Iran also targeted one of the operational units at Kuwait Petroleum Corporation's Mina Al Ahmadi and Mila Abdullah refineries with drones. Located about 40 kilometers south of Kuwait City along the Persian Gulf coast, the Mina Al Ahmadi refinery is one of the largest and most strategically critical refining complexes in the Middle East. Operated by the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation, the refinery has a processing capacity of roughly 466,000 barrels per day. Further south along the same coastline lies the Mina Abdullah refinery, another major downstream asset of the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation. With an estimated refining capacity of around 270,000 barrels per day. It is a key component of Kuwait's integrated refining and petrochemical network. In the UAE, the Habshan gas facilities and the BAB oil field were also targeted, but UAE claimed success in intercepting the missiles. The Habshan complex, operated by Abu Dhabi state oil giant ADNOC, is one of the world's largest gas processing facilities, comprising 5 plants with a total capacity of 6.1 billion standard cubic feet per day, according to ADNOC. Another serious escalation in the war is the Israeli projectile hit that took place near Iran's Bushehr nuclear plant, striking a structure about 350 meters from the reactor. Although IAEA claims that the reactor itself was not damaged and no injuries were reported, fears of a potential radiological incident loom. The Iranian army conducted evacuations in Bushehr and surrounding areas as well. The latest wave of strikes on oil and gas facilities have led to friction between Trump and Israel. US President Donald Trump has said that Israel won't attack Iran gas field again after it lashed out violently. He said angry Israel had attacked Iran's major gas field and now it won't unless Iran retaliated. Trump also warned that Israel would refrain from further attacks on the South Pars field unless Iran escalated by targeting Qatar again. He said that in such a scenario, US would retaliate with overwhelming force against the facility in Iran as well. To discuss the developments further, joining us right now is Group Captain UK Devnath, who is a defense expert. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NewsX and for taking out your time. We appreciate it. So we have entered a very critical phase of the war. First, we saw attacks on leaders. Then we saw attacks on military assets, and now we are seeing attacks on energy infrastructure. This is of critical importance, sir, because this will not affect just the warring factions, but also the global countries at large. When we are looking at these recent developments in the past 24 hours, we are seeing some of the largest oil refineries and oil production units are being hit in the Gulf, including in Iran. How are you observing this situation currently?
Shivani, as far as escalation metrics is concerned, clear instructions were there from Donald Trump to Pentagon and US Central Command that no Iranian oil facilities, oil infrastructure will be hit. Reasons were very clear. One was the political reason, because if Iranian oil infrastructure is hit, then definitely Iran will hit back at the oil infrastructure of Arab countries around Persian Gulf. This will immediately lead to a situation where per barrel cost of crude oil may go beyond $150. Now, all American facilities in American continent and mainland, and Americans' friends like Japan, South Korea, Canada, Australia, they have repeatedly told Donald Trump that if per barrel cost of crude oil exceeds $150, then definitely their economies will collapse, may even go into recession. Therefore, Donald Trump doesn't want that kind of a scenario. Second thing, Shivani, Donald Trump's ultimate ambition is after 1 month or 2 months, he wants to install a puppet regime in Tehran. In that, under that circumstances, all the oil rigs, oil infrastructure, refineries will fall under the control of American companies. That is the dream of Donald Trump. He wants his capitalist friends to, most of whom are oil tycoons, to move into Iran after 2-3 months and take control of all the drilling rigs in Iran, refineries in Iran, process the oil, and then export the petrol, diesel, kerosene only on instruction from Donald Trump. Donald Trump will dictate which country to sell, which country not to sell. Maybe he will not sell it to China. Similarly, Donald Trump will decide at what price to sell. Maybe he will sell it to India and China at a higher price. Third and most important, Donald Trump wants to take control of Iranian oil production facilities and its marketing, because he wants that sale of oil will be done only in dollars, which is not happening at present with Iranian crude oil. Similarly, Donald Trump wants that purchase of oil will be only, purchasing country will pay only, purchase only in dollars, which is not happening. China is paying Iran in yuans. So, and third, all that dollar earned will be deposited in US banks, thereby strengthening the petrodollar economy. Yes, Shivani?
All right, and Group Captain Devnath, when you're looking at this entire situation, you've spoken about how US President Donald Trump had in fact stated that he did not want Iran's gas fields and oil fields to be attacked, but Israel did in fact go ahead and do it. Do you now see in fact some sort of diversification of objectives of US and Israel in this war?
Shivani, Israel does act once in a while like a spoiled child. America tries and keeps Israel on a leash, but Israel always manages to break that leash and go beyond the briefed offensive capabilities. We have seen it in last 2 years war when Israel has attacked certain targets, even in Palestine, in Lebanon. Even inside Syria, when American administration clearly told them not to do so. But it seems that Netanyahu has been briefed very with a lot of polite strictness that he should not hit Iranian oil infrastructure anymore. We will come to know tonight whether Netanyahu is planning to heed that advice from USA. USA is planning a massive strike on Iranian war fighting potential tonight. Obviously, most of the effort, large part of the effort comes from Israeli Air Force. Now, the targeting folders of Israeli Air Force, are they being vetted by Pentagon officials before Israeli Air Force takes off? That is where Pentagon will have to take charge. Normally what happens, any Air Force like Israeli Air Force also makes the target, makes the weapon system and the delivery system match, and then attacks it at a suitable time and place of their choice. I think America will definitely depute some of its middle ranking officers, say colonels and brigadiers with the Israel Air Force, to see that targets are not Irani oil infrastructure, targets are not Irani gas or oil refineries. Yes, Shivani?
Right, Group Captain Devnath. In fact, I want your last word on how you think US will proceed or Israel will proceed if, say, for example, now Iran is retaliating. US had said that that was the caveat. If Iran didn't retaliate, they would not face, these strikes on oil facilities. But now that they are retaliating, they've hit Qatar, they've hit Saudi Arabia, they've also hit Oman. What is the next course of action for America and for Israel, sir?
Shivani, one, Iran will run short of its long distance missiles, 2000 kilometer range, which can hit Israel by next week. Second point, Iran is still left with about 400 plus missiles, SRBM, short range ballistic missiles with, say, a range of 600 to 800 kilometer, which can reach the Gulf states. But Iran will run out of these missiles also in next say 15 days. Iran's production capabilities are very, very limited, maybe 2 or 4 such missiles every week. So Iran will have nothing to fire at Israel or US assets in Gulf region after say 15 days. At that stage, Donald Trump will have to decide whether to continue to bomb Iran or not. Secondly, lastly, Donald Trump will have to also decide whether he wants to change the regime in Tehran. If his aim is to change the regime in Tehran, put a puppet government there who will give control of oil to Donald Trump, then he will have to definitely put boots on ground. 4 lakh troops, 4,000 tanks through Saudi, through Iraq and Kuwait border into Iran, march 700 kilometers towards Tehran. Yes, Shivani?
All right, Group Captain Devnath, thank you so much for taking out your time and for speaking to NewsX with that valuable perspective. We are wrapping this up.